All right. Well, welcome everyone back to the Wilkes Connect podcast. I am your host, Dan Kimbrough, and today I am very honored to be joined with Marytere and Brenda, who are both interns with the Greater Wyoming Valley Chamber of Commerce, who are our hosts for this podcast. And so I'm going to start with Marytere real quick. If you actually would go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, hi. My name is Marytere Quintana. I am a fourth year at Wilkes University. I am a English major with a minor in communications, and I have been with the chamber for about 3 years now as their student intern.
Very cool. Thank you very much. And Brenda, yourself?
Hi, my name is Brenda Arias. I am a senior at Wilkes University. I will be graduating with my Bachelor's of Science in Business Management and a concentration in hospitality leadership. This will be, I want to say I'm going into my third month with the chamber. So this is a fairly new internship for me this semester.
Very, very cool. Well, thank you both. Brenda, I'll start with you. Can you talk to me a little bit about your internship so far and some of the things that you've done?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing internship with the chamber. You really, as an intern, you really get exposed to so many different leaders around the community in Wilkes-Barre and just in Wilkes County. So really, I get to work hands-on with all the different departments, so with economic development, events management, and even with the executive assistant there. So I work closely with Eileen Rosengrant, who's in charge of the events there, and I've been helping her really supporting all the projects that she's been doing. I know so far I've really taken a really strong lead with the upcoming National Civic Speak competition that we have going on, that we will be having on April, this upcoming month. So it's just really about project management, which really aligns well with my major. So it's been really nice. I've got a lot of exposure and a lot of practice, and it's given me a lot of perspective on what I want to do forward with my career. And it's kind of made me more used to being in this environment and getting used to, speaking up and, being present and just learning about all the different things within the industry. So it's been really fun.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And Marytere, someone who's interning with the chamber a little bit longer now, and you're wrapping up, 3 years you said? So could you talk about your experience and sort of a look back?
Yeah, it's definitely been very surreal. When I look back at my first day at the chamber, I like to think about just how much I've grown as a leader and as a student, but also as just a member of this community in the area. As a college student, you really have like that gray abnormal area where you don't really feel like you're a native of the community that you're living in because you go to the school in that area. But as a way, like you really are a part of that demographic of that community. And so within this internship, I've had the opportunity to really learn about everything that is surrounding the Wyoming Valley area, small businesses. The Chamber has done an extremely great job with supporting our local small businesses and really pushing, young entrepreneurs and the economic development of our region. And so being in this position, I kind of learned about how fundamental it is for students to really get out there in the community and see what our community has to offer. And so I've learned a lot through this position just about what our community has to offer, but also as students, what we can do for our community.
Oh, awesome. Thank you both for sharing that. And you both talked about some of the engagement that you've done within the community and things of that nature. Can you talk a little bit about how your engagement and balancing between going to school and having to deal with those things? And then the chamber, like you said, Marytere, does a lot in the community and a lot of support of small businesses. You guys are literally everywhere. And so that balance between being a student full time and then trying to handle an internship and still be engaged and involved. Can either of you speak to balancing that and what's that like? What's up with Brenda?
Yeah, I mean, really just being able to manage your time and looking at your priorities. I think when you really want to be an active member in your community, it's about, priorities. It's about really being intentional with your work and with your intentions of what you want to do. Everybody should have that little bit of a civic engagement within themselves if you want to succeed as not just a professional, but as a human being, if you want to see your community grow and actually do, make an impact with the people that you serve and that you work alongside with, it's very important that you try to implement, being present with your community and just helping everybody that you can. And as a young professional going into the, work industry, I think it's really important to be able to learn how to manage your time and look at what's important to you in your own personal world. And I think, education is very important to me, and also getting to know the people that I work alongside with in the community, at work, at school, in my internships, because there's so many different aspects of what I do that interconnect. So being able to just, make a priority list and stick to it and hold myself accountable for, being there, being present, and making sure that when I'm there, I'm focused and I'm giving my best that I can. But I think it's just about knowing what's important to you and sticking by it. And, just being intentional, making sure that you're being an adult and being accountable and getting out there and doing things that you're putting your mind to and doing them right and doing them effectively. So.
Very cool. Thank you for that. And Marytere, since you've been there for 3 years, can you talk a little bit about sort of how this internship and these experiences and different engagements have changed you over that time period?
Yeah, it definitely has grown me as a leader and as a professional. Before I started at the chamber, I had minimal event planning experience and just overall professionalism.
Hmm.
As a college student, you really don't get to experience a regular 9 to 5 and what that would look like. But coming into it, I kind of saw the impact that the chamber had within our community, and it really aligned with the morals and values that I had as a person. I really wanted to work with an organization that really was working directly with the community and hoping serve and uplift it in any way. And so, as a first generation bilingual Mexican American, being bilingual, I always saw just the small businesses and how people of color, specifically in the Hispanic community, kind of struggled with figuring out what the resources were like out there because of that language barrier. And so that was kind of one of my really big missions was, trying to work with an organization that can really help uplift those communities and show them that the resources are out there. And so the chamber has offered me so many opportunities. I remember my first event was Light Up the Valley, and it was so beautiful to see just the community come out and celebrate, all of the leaders that we have out here and really uplifting each other. But one of my favorite parts of the event was that we kind of worked with the local businesses in the downtown area, and we kind of like offered them, if we can have the crowd come out and eat at this place. We were able to kind of encourage the community to come out and give businesses to those organizations. And so it was something beautiful because not only were we celebrating one another, but we were also uplifting our small businesses and really showcasing what our community has to offer. We had small vendors. It was just something incredible. And so being able to be a part of a team that really works so hard to dedicate their time to doing so has really just changed my perspective as a student. And so now instead of, doing like Amazon Prime and online shopping, I, have knowledge and experience of all of the small businesses that we have here. And so I really try to be like the biggest advocate on my campus and saying, hey, like the chamber's doing this event. And did you know that Small Business Saturday is happening here? And so being a little bit more knowledgeable about, the community around me has definitely been an improvement in my last 3 years here.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that first Light of Bell Valley was a really cool event. So it's awesome. That's where you got to begin with. Could you, Brenda, talk a little bit about the Bonner program that you both are a part of and how this has sort of helped gear you towards these internships, and getting out here? The chamber, it seems like, oh, it's just the chamber, but you do deal with a lot of small businesses and a lot of day to day, and they're moving around a lot. How did that program help gear you towards being prepared to deal with all of this?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I can never stop saying good things about the Bonner Leader program. We're part of the first cohort that initiated the program at Wilkes University, and it mainly encompasses a lot of civic engagement and leadership. And it's a work study opportunity for undergraduate students to be able to bridge that gap between financial stability and civic leadership. So it pairs you up with a local nonprofit near the campus, and you're able to grow as a leader, as a volunteer, as an intern within that local nonprofit. You're able to explore little different aspects of your leadership, of how you can build capacity within that environment and within that service group. And you're able to build projects, find ways to support and find the root causes to how you can actually put your skills with what you're learning on campus within your major and actually help and build them up for success. And the program really has helped me come out of my shell. It's giving me more of an opportunity to stand on my own 2 feet and really realize what I can do, what kind of impact I can leave on the people that I encounter. It's also given me a lot of perspective on what's out there. And it's making me look at things and people situations very differently. It's given me more of a perspective that I kind of carry with me throughout everything that I do. And I think when you talk about, going out there, volunteering, looking at all those different businesses, the Bonner program really makes you look at yourself within and how you can become a part of these environments It makes you, figure out how can I be an advocate? How can I step into this space and, be an uplifter, be a volunteer instead of coming in with, we'll do it this way, we'll do it my way, instead of just, taking the time to listen and figure out what they need and how you can kind of bridge that gap and connect your resources and, your knowledge and be able to kind of meet them halfway instead of coming in and trying to take over everything. So it's really giving us that, that mentality of what I can do to help you, to, help build you up. And it's just made me more humble. It's made me more grateful for the things that I have. And it's afforded me with the opportunity to, expand my capacity and how I can help other people. It's definitely shifted my perspective in so many different ways. And I'm very, very grateful for the Honor Program.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And Brenda, I want to continue. Is there any classes or class experience that you've had that you've seen work in the real world where you've learned something in class and all of a sudden there's that aha moment of, oh, this is what they were talking about and you're actually doing it?
Yes, so recently, I am a business management major, but I have a concentration in hospitality. And the specific within hospitality, I'm very interested in event management. And right now, currently, as a senior, I am taking an event management course. And I'm learning about all these different aspects that go into building a project and carrying it out. And I work closely with Eileen here at the chamber, and I'm seeing that firsthand. I'm helping her lead the Civics Bee project coming up, and I'm kind of seeing all that background information on campus at school, and I'm getting all that, background info, all that knowledge, and I'm actually putting it into practice at my internship. So it's nice to kind of see that, see it all come to life and actually being able to implement them in real life and kind of get that experience some way, because it's great to know about it. It's great to have that knowledge, but it's also very different when you have to actually do the thing and actually put that into practice. So it's giving me a lot of experience that I know I will definitely be using forward in my career. But I mean, I see it in so many ways. I've had a public speaking class because as a business major, doing a lot of public speaking. So being able to be confident and know how to present yourself out to other people and being able to be in those spaces has really been very helpful for me. So yeah, definitely being able to manage a project, being able to be in those spaces and knowing how to actually, be able to, talk to other people and present yourself and kind of market yourself, because as a young professional, you have to know how to do that and have to know how to be able to kind of promote your brand and look at yourself as a brand, and trying to mingle with other leadership professionals who've been doing this for so long. But I mean, as a business major, you get a lot of background information and background knowledge and all these concepts, and you're actually able to, now myself with my experiences, able to put them out and actually implement them with your daily work.
Very cool. Thank you for that. And Marytere, the same question for you. What has there been a specific situation as a communications major where you've learned something in class and had that same aha moment in the real world?
Yeah, so I'm currently taking a communications class where we're learning about that intrapersonal communication between people and kind of, learning a little bit about like the mass media communication and how social media has been a really big pillar in our community and has really transcended over time. And it's been a really big part of our lives now when it had the small little moment that's kind of expanded and has taken over. And so learning a little bit about that within the chamber myself and my position, I handle a lot of the social media as a support. So I do a lot of the Instagram and the Facebook moments where we have big events like the annual dinner. And so being able to kind of understand just like the relevantness of what internet can be and just kind of taking all of those concepts is really important, especially when you're working in a corporation where branding is such a big deal. As Brenda said, it's really important. It's how we kind of show ourselves and promote ourselves, not only to the community, but to the public. Especially it's like the first appearance that people see when they notice you. And so you want to make sure that you're staying relevant and you're doing what you can to be in the news and in the community, but also being mindful of everything that's going on. And so knowing how to communicate with others and carry yourself is really important.
Oh, thank you both for that. I want to go back to Brenda really quickly. If you're both in the Bonner program, so you have sort of this entryway into this internship, but for students who aren't engaged or don't have something like that, what would you suggest to them as a way of getting started or getting engaged in their community, and so that they can sort of build out their portfolio, but also just be better people?
Yeah, I mean, I think knowing your campus resources, I know at Wilkes University we have a career center where they actually give you all these different businesses they're looking for interns, and they build you up, they help you build your resume, they help you sign, they help you apply for internships, and they kind of give you that exposure. They also hold a lot of mini career fairs throughout the
Mhm.
semester and throughout the year that really kind of give you that hands-on one-on-one experience with different businesses in the area that are looking for interns. So they really set you up for success. So I think just being your own advocate and looking for those resources is the primary thing. You know, you can never wait for people to hand you these opportunities. You have to actually go out and look for them and, you know, take that first step and put yourself out there. I know through the Bonner program, you get to meet so many different people and so many different leaders, and you're able to build that network and know who those people are that could get you into the door. But it's if you don't go out looking for them, you're never going to find them on your own. So being able to step out of your comfort zone, always step out of your comfort zone, and look for those opportunities, look for those people that can get you into those doors, and just be intentional with what you do. Know the right steps to take and kind of set that path for yourself. You have to sit down and think, what am I going to do next? What
Hmm.
do I need to do to get to this place? Who I need to talk to be able to get to that, that business. You have to be able to plan that out for yourself. And like I said, be intentional, know what it is that you want. And I know it's hard because we're young. So, you never know what you want to do in 10, 5 years. So, but just being able to take that first step and figure out what you really want to do, what you really love to do, and go from there. I know myself, I go to a lot of the career fairs and I
Hmm.
talk to people that are not even in business, but just knowing that, you made that first impression and that you went out and took that first step and you talked to somebody just to even get that practice in, but being able to, again, just be your own advocate and, go out.
No, I appreciate that, and that's good advice for even those who aren't young or just are students or interns who are going out there, getting out, meeting new people, introducing yourselves, and sort of building your network is always great advice. So thank you for that. And Mary Tare, for you, you mentioned that you're a first generation Mexican American student here. Can you talk about the importance of being someone from a different culture and sort of plopped in an area where school is, and that importance of engagement, and maybe not sort of shelling yourself off from that community, but engaging and getting involved, and why that's important for your own growth?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I, as a first generation student, the college world was something that was completely unknown to me. Growing up, I had to kind of go out and look for my own way of like managing homework and kind of getting that extra tutoring and help because higher education was just something that really wasn't in reach for my parents,
Hmm.
them immigrating to the US at a young age, really looking for better opportunities for my family and for myself was a sacrifice that I didn't really take lightly. And so I knew growing up that I really wanted to get into a place where I can make my family proud, but also advocating for the Hispanic/Latino community. Immigrant rights is something that I'm really fond of. And so when you grow up, you kind of don't really see a lot of people who are in these career positions that I strive to do that don't really look like me. And so that was something that I really wanted to do was kind of implement that into my life was, stepping up and like Brenda said, you really have to be your own self advocate, especially when you're kind of stepping into uncharted waters. And that kind of was what college was like. But luckily, I was really fortunate to be at a university where first generation students wasn't like a new concept.
Hmm.
They had advisors, they had academic advisors who were there to help you. So I really just leaned heavily on those resources that Wilkes offered. But the Bonner program really was just a major foundation for me to really completely look for that 100% support. It really goes after first generation students. And so it really helped me kind of see myself and who I wanted to be, and really market myself into those types of demographics. And so I guess my advice for first generation students would be to just not be afraid. It's really easy to fall into that imposter syndrome where you're like, am I good enough to be here? Do I belong here? What can I bring to the table? And at the end of the day, it's just, you really have to look past that, because you may be the first person in your family to be in this world, but that's just the first of many. You're the first, but somebody behind you is going to be the second, and so on and so forth. And so you really have to look past that anxiety and that fear and say, hey, along the way, you're going to face obstacles, you're going to face challenges, and you may fail. But a really good friend of mine said, you don't fail unless you give up. And if you didn't give up, then you didn't fail. And so that was something that I take with me now, and will continue to look into that advice. And so don't give up. It's going to get hard, but you got to ask for help. And if you didn't give up, then you didn't fail. And tomorrow's a new day.
That's amazing. Thank you for that advice. That's really powerful, that idea that if you didn't give up, you haven't failed, and keep moving forward. So, Brenda, back to you. Can you, as we look to wrap up, reflect, I know you've only been there 3 months, but what has this experience meant to you, as you sort of get ready to leave the chamber as well as graduate and go into the real world? Reflect a little bit on what it's been like.
I mean, like I said, this experience, I'm very grateful. I am grateful to have been afforded the opportunity to be in that space in the first place. I am grateful for everybody at the chamber. They've welcomed me with so many open arms. They, at first I was very shy. I didn't really know what my place was, but they helped me find it. They really helped me be my own person, and they really trusted me with a lot of different responsibilities there. And I grow every day that I'm there. I learn new things from everybody there. Mary has been a great resource for me there because she's been there for so long. And because I've known her, she's really, really been taking me under her wing. But really, I'm really grateful for Lindsay, for, Shawnee, for Eileen, for everybody really that's really taken their time to really help me grow as an individual and as a professional. They've given me all these tools, and they're really helping me learn, and I appreciate everybody who really takes their time to help somebody grow, because it really reflects on the kind of person that they are. If somebody takes their time to really help you grow as a person, it shows how dedicated they are. So I'm really grateful. Again, I don't think I would be here again if it weren't for Shawnee, if it weren't for the chamber for giving us the platform to speak on our experiences, and for trusting us to represent the chamber. But again, like I always say, just, go out there, find your people. But again, I am grateful for the Bonar program. I'm grateful for Wilkes University, and more than everything, I'm grateful for all the mentors that I've had that have really set me down and talked to me and given me advice when I needed it the most, and have really shaped the way that I think and, my determination. So I guess I'm grateful to be here, and I don't ever want to take any opportunity for granted. I'm thankful for everything that has been afforded to me, and I'm very grateful.
Thank you for that. Thank you. And Marytere, for you, the same question, sort of, as you look back, and getting ready to sort of graduate and move on from this internship opportunity, could you reflect a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of bittersweet, when you spend so long with a group of people, they don't really are like just people that you work with. I think of them as my family, and through the years I've been here, there have been some, changes of positions, but still I've been just so attached to this amazing group of people, Shani, Ahmad, Megan, Maddie, Alex, Lindsay. They're all just amazing, and they're all great, and I've had really just the best time here. It's a privilege to work with them. They're all amazing. They're all dedicated in their work and in their mission within the chamber. And so it's bittersweet because I'm able to move on, and continue my education and my career, but you never want to leave. I always tell them, I'm like, I'll stay here if you let me. But I guess I look back on everything fondly, and like Brenda said, she really put it nicely, you're really grateful for the position because, this isn't really something that, everybody has the ability and the opportunity to do. So you really have to take advantage of every single opportunity that's afforded to you, and use it to the best of your ability and really be present. And so that's, I think, one of the biggest lessons that I'll take with me throughout my entire career at Wilkes and my entire time here at the chamber is just take every opportunity as it comes, be 100% present in the moment, and give it your all. Because at the end of the day, that's all that you can do is give 100%. And and then the rest is just what it'll be. And so I'm just grateful that I was able to have my time here with them and experience everything that the chamber had to offer. And it was a great experience, and I'll take it with me in the rest of my career.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much. And so I guess my final question is, what's next for the both of you as you're looking to graduate and move on? Brenda, where are you looking to work, or do you have something lined up? Or
Yeah, I already have a position actually after graduation, which I'm very excited. So I have been working at Mohegan, Pennsylvania Hotel and Casino for about 2 years now. And back in December, I was offered a full-time position where I will be taking over HR, guest relations, and event coordinating for the employee aspect of the company. So it's been really great, and I know I will grow in that position. I love the people that I work with, and I love all my colleagues, and I love Mohegan. It's really a great place to grow as a human being, as a person, as a professional, and I know I will grow into my career while I'm there. And then in about 3 years' time, I will be applying for a Fulbright scholarship to be able to increase my career and get my master's in international human resources. So that's like my 5-year plan right now. But definitely grow into my career and get more experience and, just grow as a professional.
very cool. That's amazing. And congratulations on you already having a job lined up, and good luck in the Fulbright scholarship. And then Marytere, I guess we'll end with you. Sort of, what do you have lined up, or what's next for you?
Yeah, so as graduation wraps up, I'll be taking my LSAT, and then I'll be applying to law school. So I'm going to continue my education and hopefully become a lawyer in about 5 years' time. I hope to graduate, get a law degree, pass the bar exam, and continue on just being an advocate for the community. And I still know that I want to continue to do service in my community. So whatever community I land onto, I hope to continue that
Yeah. Well,
in
awesome.
my life.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for your time this afternoon. I'll let you get back to your work at the chamber since you're still there, and I know how busy things are. So this has been Wilkes Connect. I want to thank everybody for listening, and check us out next time.
Thank you.